And now we're going to get into some fades, guys. So I'm going to be pulling them up here on the player profile for fades purposes. So give me a second to pull that up and we'll be getting into it. So the first player I'm going to be fading is someone that was, high risk, high reward type play. Is Russel Henley last week. He ranked out, I think, 17th or 18th in the model last week. Ended up, finishing second, losing in a playoff. He's always just someone that's high risk, high reward. But the thing with Russell Henley here is that he hasn't played well at this tournament. 3 straight missed cuts. And he's coming off of a tournament in which I wouldn't say he choked it away. So mentally, maybe he's not as flustered, but he still didn't win. And that's got to hurt on him mentally. Okay, that does. So other than that, 22nd, 7th, 52nd, 25th, and 21st place finish, he had been in solid recent form, 5th best recent form out of anyone in the field. I can't play him at 9K knowing that he just couldn't close out the victory. And honestly, I probably wouldn't have played him anyways if he won. But the poor course history and probably the inflated ownership, that is just something I'm going to fade, especially because there's other solid picks in that high tier price point range that we want to be going out of our way to play. And so, yeah, Russell Henley just doesn't make the cut for me this. And then we're going to be looking at someone else kind of in that same criteria, WillieZ. And I really hope this isn't like Cam Smith and Hideki the last 2 weeks. So the last 2 weeks, I wasn't on Cam Smith because, Sanjay was priced there. 2 other players were priced there that Daniel Berger, that did well. They had top 10 finishes. And Hideki was kind of the same thing. I would rather be on, I wanted to be on Sanjay more, and then Webb and Mark Leishman. Webb and Mark Leishman made the cut, didn't really do much. You could say, I guess that was a mistake to be on those guys over Hideki, but they were really all the same play, and Hideki was the highest priced player, so I kind of just wanted to be on the other guys. That could be WillieZ here. So he is a decent stat rank play, top 20 in the field. We know the upside that he has, but the recent form just hasn't been there from him. Doesn't have any course history here as well. He is a California boy, but he's not living there anymore. He resides in Texas now. Went to college in North Carolina, so yeah, California boy, but at the same time, not really California based anymore. Let's see this stats here. Course designer has played a little bit better on Pete Dye design courses, a little bit better on Bermuda greens. All the secondary stats suggest that he could be okay, but I just can't play him at this price point. And actually, he doesn't rank out well. He ranks out 41st on the 9 to 5 mile, so it would be more or less shocking to see him, have a top 10 finish where Hideki and Cam Smith the previous weeks, they were top 10 in the 95 miles. So it wasn't shocking. It was just more or less can't play everyone. This week, it's just I don't think WillieZ is going to be a good pick. Then we look at Scottie Scheffler. This is the exact same thing now here where Scottie Scheffler is ranking out well. Top 10 in the 95 mile. This is the exact same situation as Cam Smith and Hideki where I'd rather pick John Rahm. I'd rather pick Patrick Cantlay. I'd rather go Taylor Gooch. And, it might just end up being that should have went another player deeper and went with Scottie Scheffler, but it is what it is. You don't want to overextend your player pool too much in a certain price point tier, and that kind of leaves me just not being on Scottie Scheffler. A made cut and a miscut here. Okay, we can see though, struggling the stroke gain approach, and that's really kind of where he lost it at the American Express 2 years ago. Probably should have made the cut. That's what that tells us there. And then 2 years ago, 3rd place finish. So it wouldn't shock me if he goes on and gets a top 10 finish. Heck, it wouldn't shock me if he goes on and wins. That might be one of the situations where you fade him in DFS and maybe outright bet him. But a 57th, a 22nd, a 4th, a 38th place finish in his recent starts, that's all pretty solid as well. But once again, I just like the other picks a little bit better around him. So I just can't end up on him. Let's look at the kind of other stats. A little bit better stroke gain total rank on Pete Dye design courses, a little bit better on Bermuda greens. Overall, the secondary stats don't really suggest anything that would say he's going to be a bad or good play. Then we're going to get into Patrick Reed as a fade. So Patrick Reed, I've faded for a while now. I don't really get why people are trying to force him in there. This kind of goes back to people. I don't really get it. People are chasing upside a lot more recently. And I get it with someone that's like a good stat fit or, good recent form or course history. That really hasn't been the case with Patrick Reed lately. So it's been weird to see Patrick Reed getting high ownership. And maybe if he's low on this week, maybe then we jump on him in 20th best stat rank play, 15th at the STOC. That wasn't bad. Not great though. And that's kind of him as a player, is that he's been playing okay enough to warrant still using him 5 straight makeouts in a row, but not playing well enough to really feel comfortable about him as a pick. And still, once again, kind of at his price point, there's other picks that I'd rather be on. If he was 8K, sure, I'd be fine with him. Get that made cut. But at 8.8K, and really just that whole pricing tier, I just kind of want to fade that whole pricing tier. Patrick Reed's a good example of that pricing tier. Just not going to be playing them at that pricing tier. But now I want to get into some of the sleeper picks. So I already mentioned Carlos Ortiz. He's going to be a sleeper pick for me this week. We can see he's a top 15 stat hit, and that's really why. 2 straight make cuts here at this tournament. One of his most recent starts, second place finish. So yeah, we do like that from Carlos Ortiz. We can see though, not the best Pete Dye design course type of guy. A little bit better on Bermuda greens though. And this kind of echoes why he's a sleeper pick. He's not someone you want to go out of your way to play too much, but he does have that upside to really give you a top 10 finish. Top 25 pick in the 95 mile this week. I don't mind him as a pick. Another player that I want to mention is going to be Alex Norton as a sleeper pick. Whoops, not Alex Smalley. So really not bad. Recent form rank is where he's getting knocked the most here, but 13th in course history rank, a 48th and a 14th place finish. We do like that from him. Stat rank play, top 25. That's not horrible. We'll take that from Alex Norton. All the secondary stats don't really suggest anything that would say he's going to struggle or dominate, but overall, Alex Norton at this price point, I think he is going to be a strong sleeper. Top 20 in the 9-5 model at a price tag of 8.4. That's okay. And I guess I would consider him more of a shoulder shrug pick. These kind of are intertwined this week, especially this early on in the season, but I don't mind him. For the next sleeper pick, I'm going to be talking about Troy Money Merritt. It's kind of sad that I couldn't play him last week, to be honest with you guys. Troy Merritt. So we can see recent form-wise, pretty decent. 22nd, 15th. Miscut, 16th. That's pretty good. We see the second place finish. He had a good run there for a while. Then some bad form after kind of failing to get the W that he probably should have. So it's no shock that he kind of had a letdown for a while there. But, it seems like he's in better recent form. He's someone that kind of does fit the mold of someone that should play well. He's just a guy that gets hot is pretty much what I'm trying to say here. It wouldn't shock me if he gets a top 10 or a top 20 finish. Troy Merritt does have that upside. We can see over his past 24 starts, 4 of them have been top 10 finishes. So it's not like that's out of the question, but yeah, he's going to have to make the cut because he's also missed 9 cuts. So little risk reward there, and that's exactly why he's a sleeper pick. Now we're going to get into a couple of shoulder shrug picks, and then we'll be finishing off here. All right, so Adam Hadwin as a shoulder shrug pick. We can see that recent form. 51st, 56th, 46th, 6th, 45th. Not that good there, but what we do like from him is going to be that 32nd and that second and that third place finish here, course history-wise. That is pretty excellent from Adam Hadwin. Overall, he ranks as a top 12 pick in the 9-5 mile this week. Obviously, we love that as well. We talk about someone that is a guy that's derived in the strokes gained approach. It's Adam Hadwin. He does need to score a little bit better, and that'd be the worry with him, I guess, is that he's not going to score as much, and that's more or less shoulder shrug pick. But I'm fine with him as a pick this week. Then we're going to get into 2 more shoulder shrug picks here, and then we're going to be finishing up. So KH Lee, he did have an okay finish last week, made the cut. That's all we really wanted. 33rd place finish at the STOC, Zozo Championship, played well. He's been playing well. Overall ranks as top 12 pick in the 9-5 mile this week. I don't know if I exactly agree with that. Top 25 stat fit, top 20 in recent form rank, 33rd in course history rank. That's with 2 top 40 finishes. 32nd and 21st, and then a miscut. So overall, not horrible there from KH Lee. Not someone to go crazy, but he's a decent lineup filler. If you end up on him as the last player into your build, like I did a decent amount last week, and you're kind of just like, okay, that's fine, we'll do that. And then Brian freaking Harmon. I know a lot of people from the Discord chat are not going to like this idea, and I apologize for that. Got a long going joke with him, but of course, history-wise, 8th, 21st, miscut, 20th. That's pretty good. Made the cut last week. He's made 3 straight cuts in a row now. Doesn't rank out well in the model. She's not going to rank out well in the model because, prior to that, hadn't been playing well. Not a good stat fit. But we can chase that course history with that. 21st in course history rank. That's pretty good. Overall secondary stats are not going to pop too much to suggest anything good or bad from him, but overall does rank out as a pretty decent pick. That's all I have for you guys this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a deep dive. It was a longer video, but a lot of good stuff there. I kind of echoed how much of a high variance week this is going to be with all the picks that I talked about. So hopefully you guys have a good week. I know it is a high risk, high reward type week. So let's hope that if you're building 10 lineups, let's hope they all get 6 for 6, but let's hope a good portion of them get 6 for 6. But I hope that one 6 for 6 lineup that you do get is the big one. And that's kind of, I think, what the approach should be this week. Unfortunately, that's just the week that we have. But that's all I have for you guys this week. If you enjoyed the video, as always, please give me a like and subscribe. I enjoy that. If you guys want to join 9-to-5 Nation, your one-stop shop for PGA DFS, please do. Link is in the description below. All right, thanks for watching. As always, let's keep cashing.